So, we're about to explore a pretty wild idea. What if the real solution to modern burnout isn't found in some self help book, but is actually hidden in the fundamental laws of mathematics and physics? Okay, let's just dive right in with a huge question. What if that feeling of exhaustion you have, that feeling of running as fast as you can just to stand still, what if that isn't just your problem? What if it's actually a symptom of being out of tune with a fundamental harmony that governs, well, everything, from prime numbers to the very fabric of the cosmos? To even begin to understand this, we first have to properly diagnose the problem. And that journey starts with the sociology of our incredibly fast-paced world. Yeah, so sociologist Hartmut Rosa, he argues that our entire society is based on something he calls dynamic stabilization. What does that mean? It means our economy, our institutions, even our sense of who we are. They all require constant growth, constant acceleration, and constant innovation just to keep from collapsing. We are all on this hamster wheel, running faster and faster, not to get ahead, but literally just to keep our footing. Now, what's so interesting here is how this acceleration isn't just one thing. It's kind of like a four-pronged attack on our senses. You've got technical acceleration, which shrinks the globe. Then there's social change, making our knowledge and values feel obsolete faster than ever. The pace of life itself just crams more and more into every single day, which leads to that constant feeling of not having enough time. And finally, the great acceleration, especially since the 1950s, has destabilized the planet itself. And the scary part is, they all feed on each other, creating this relentless cycle. So, what's the ultimate cost of this frantic pace? It's alienation. It's a deep, profound sense of being disconnected. When we treat the world, our work, our relationships, nature, as just another resource to be optimized and controlled, it stops speaking to us. It becomes this inert, silent backdrop to our busy lives. We lose that ability to be genuinely moved or even changed by it. So if acceleration is the problem, is the answer just to slow down? Well, not quite. Hartmut Rosa proposes something much, much deeper. Finding the world's frequency through a theory of what he calls resonance. Resonance isn't about just unplugging for the weekend. No, it's a completely different way of being in the world. It's a dynamic, two-way relationship. Imagine having a conversation where you're not just waiting for your turn to talk, but you are truly listening, and you feel like the world is truly listening back. Both you and the world are transformed in that process. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the difference. On the left, you have appropriation. That's the logic of the hamster wheel, right? Building your resume, optimizing your skills, treating education as just collecting assets to compete better. But on the right, you have transformation. That's resonance. It's engaging in a real dialogue with a book, a piece of art, a forest, in a way that's totally unpredictable and leaves you fundamentally changed as a person. Okay, now for a major leap. Seriously, brace yourself. We're moving from sociology to the most abstract and fundamental reality we know, mathematics. What if this whole idea of resonance isn't just a nice metaphor? What if it's literally written into the very code of numbers? This is where we get to an incredible connection. The idea that the very harmony we're looking for in our lives has a direct parallel in the hidden, secret order of prime numbers. Which leads us to a really strange but powerful question. I mean, we think of primes, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, as kind of random and unpredictable. But what if they have a kind of music, a hidden harmony? This, right here, is the core of the famous Riemann hypothesis. And look, without getting totally lost in the equations, what it's essentially predicting is that the way prime numbers are spread out isn't random at all. It's governed by a special set of values called zeros that act like the fundamental frequencies of a musical instrument. They dictate the harmony of the primes. It's incredible. If the hypothesis is wrong, it means there's a fundamental randomness, a kind of dissonance at the very heart of mathematics itself. All right, so now let's see how this abstract musical score from pure mathematics becomes the physical orchestra of the cosmos. So, what is everything really made of, deep down? For a long time, we thought it was particles, these tiny little points of stuff. But one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, mind-bending theories in modern physics suggests that that's not the whole picture. Yeah, at the most fundamental level of reality, everything is made of tiny, one-dimensional loops of vibrating energy, strings.
And this is just the perfect analogy for it. According to string theory, every particle we see, an electron, a photon, you name it, is just a different vibration, a different note being played on these fundamental strings. All the laws of physics are just the rules of harmony, and all of chemistry and life, that's the complex melody that emerges when they all play together, a cosmic symphony.
So here it is. This is the big aha moment. We're seeing 4 different levels of reality, and they are all based on this one principle: resonance. At the tiniest quantum level, you've got vibrating strings creating matter. At the arithmetic level, you have the Riemann zeros providing the harmonic rules for information itself. On the grand cosmological scale, sound waves in the early universe shape the galaxies. And then, finally, at our social level, we have our human capacity for real connection. It's the same principle, all the way from the bottom to the top.
So, what do we do with this grand, unified vision? I mean, it's not just a cool idea to think about. The theory suggests this could actually serve as a practical and even ethical compass for our chaotic times.
To navigate any chaos, you need a fixed point, right? An anchor. In math and physics, these fixed points are called invariants. They're values that stay constant, no matter how you transform the system around them. They are anchors of stability in a sea of change.
And that is exactly what the Riemann zeros are. They are mathematical invariants. They literally represent points of perfect harmonic balance. So in a world where our social values and knowledge are constantly shifting, these fundamental frequencies offer a stable, external guide, a compass that isn't subject to the whims of our accelerating society.
And the best part is, we can actually tune into this harmony. Rosa gives us 3 practical ways to do it. There's horizontal resonance, which is all about connecting with other people. Then diagonal resonance is about finding a meaningful, non-exploitative relationship with our work and the stuff around us. And finally, vertical resonance is about connecting to the big picture, whether it's through nature, art, or the just awe-inspiring beauty of science and math itself. So after this whole journey from our own personal burnout all the way to the Big Bang, the takeaway is actually remarkably simple. The way out of the hamster wheel isn't to figure out how to run even faster. It's to stop, to get quiet, and to learn how to listen to the harmonies that are already there, playing all around us. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The evidence from math, from physics, from sociology, it all seems to suggest that a deep, cosmic music is playing all around us and through us. The only question is, in all the noise of our accelerated lives, have we forgotten how to hear it?